All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We are now live across all social media platforms from Facebook to LinkedIn, YouTube, and of course here on TikTok. And I hope you can hear me clearly, Al.
Yes, Spring, I can hear you clearly.
Awesome. So, once again, good morning to all our viewers from across the East Coast to the West Coast. And for today's podcast, we are going to be talking about website management and maintenance, ensuring optimal performance and functionality. And with me today is none other than our very own IT desktop support and website management and website development El Lomerio. His name is El Nino, but we're gonna call him El.
Yeah, that's correct, Spring.
All right. Okay. So, Al, you've been you've been managing, developing websites for quite a bit. So,
Yeah.
I'm I just want to go straight to my first question so that for those who are already watching us right now,
Mhm.
by the way, before I continue, I just want to inform our viewers that if you have questions or inquiries about our services, or because right now we're talking about web management and maintenance, but we do offer other services like video editing, virtual
Mhm.
assistants, executive virtual assistants, and social media management. It's just that today our focus is on website management and maintenance. If you do have questions, feel free to leave your questions in our comment section. Okay, so here's the
Yeah.
question for Elle. What exactly does a web developer do? Let's start with that. And how
Yeah.
does this benefit companies?
Um, to answer the question, a developer is basically they develop software for a company's
Mhm.
underlying problem. And based on my experience, I'm handling a client within this company. Her husband is a real
Yes.
estate agent, and the client already have a website, so I update the contents of it and also the property listings, then the testimonials. Um, if my client have a possible buyer on this properties,
Hmm.
my client, the possible buyer would just browse the website. Then after that, if they already have a property that they want to buy, they just email my client directly. So basically, to answer the question of how does that benefit benefit the companies, um,
Hmm.
to save time, they
Hmm.
already got the traditional way of selling, which is to scan the or explain the properties one by one because
Yeah.
it's already in the website. So by that, the saved time, he can use it to a more valuable transactions and
Yes.
also to generate revenue to move further for the transaction. That's it.
So, because you do have development, sometimes we do like web from scratch, very
Yes, ma'am.
basic for those
Yes,
that
spring.
just need the basic information, just their information to be out there, all the way to maintenance whenever there's
Yeah,
something new or an update
yeah,
that they need to be put into their website. And of course, as you said, that takes time, right?
yes,
And
yes, spring.
instead of them doing it themselves, having to learn the
Mhm.
back end of the website,
Yeah,
I mean, and it is time consuming, plus they have to learn a new skill. Instead of doing that
yeah,
themselves, they can just save time and let you handle it.
yeah.
All right.
but
So
also
what
to
are
add
import
up. Oh,
yes, go
sorry.
ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, but also to add up to the benefit
Mhm.
of the company, that depends on the purpose of the website also,
Okay.
on how is it gonna generate revenue to the client.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
that.
yes, yes, that's
Mm,
right. Because, of course,
yeah,
for a business, that's really important. I mean, for any business, their own website, aside from their
yeah.
social media platforms, is very important because it is where they generate revenue. It is
Yes,
where
exactly.
their clients, their customers
Mhm,
contact them and avail of their products or services. You're right there.
exactly. Mm,
And so, what are the important things to consider
mhm.
when maintaining a website?
Um, there are a lot of things to consider, but in my experience, these three are the most important. Number one is
Okay.
security, because
Hmm.
in a real estate website, the possible buyers of my client, they give emails and sometimes phone numbers so that my client can contact the possible buyers. So that
Hmm.
must be confidential. There must be no leaks of the possible buyers' um, information. Then next is the content updates. This is what I usually do on my clients, the property listings, then the sold listings, the testimonials. The information must be genuine, not so the clients, no, the possible buyers of my clients would be not confused on the content stated in the website. Then
Hmm.
next is the web hosting. Usually, the we call it domain.
Hmm.
That's where the source code of the website is uploaded. Then, in my experience, I already handled a hosting, which is a GoDaddy, and
Yes.
also a Bluehost. That depends on the web developer on what they would want to choose, a domain or a web hosting sites. Yeah.
Okay. I see. Yeah, of course, GoDaddy is
Yeah.
one of the, if not the most popular
Yes. Yeah.
web hosting sites. In fact, I bought I bought the website springzeal.com from them.
In
So
GoDaddy.
that's my name. I'm
Yeah.
not using it. If
Yeah.
you search for it, I
Mm,
mean, you won't find a website because I didn't create a website, but I
yeah.
just bought it so nobody else can use
Yeah.
it. Um, so yeah, for those
Mm,
who are interested
mm,
in creating their own website or want to
mhm,
start or just want to check,
mhm.
for those businesses out there that, if you don't have a website yet and you want to create a website, you can go to GoDaddy or
Yes.
Bluehost to check if the website name that you're looking for is already available or not. Because, of
Yeah.
course, when you decide on a website, it's not just going to be available, especially if you're using names that are very searchable. Like, for
The spring.
example, an example, right? OceanClick. We
Yeah.
wanted it to be oceanclick.com, but the word
Mhm.
ocean and the word click, they're highly searchable.
Yes.
So oceanclick.com is available, but at a very high price.
Yeah. Cost.
And yes, it costs
Yeah.
just too much.
Mhm.
And but then there are other options. And
Yeah.
sometimes if you want a website, sometimes other people already bought it, but they do
Mhm.
offer a service wherein they will broker for you. GoDaddy will broker for you.
Yeah.
Like, um, if you want them to buy that certain website that somebody already bought,
Yeah.
and they will try to negotiate a price for you with the person who bought it.
Yeah.
So for those who are
Mhm.
interested, buying and selling web domains is also a business.
Yes.
Just,
Exactly.
an
Mhm.
insider's tip.
Yeah.
so so there you go.
Mhm.
All right. Thanks for that, Al.
Yeah.
So, what are the challenges a web developer may encounter?
Um, Mostly we call it bugs,
Mhm.
like the ladybug, an insect.
Yeah.
Yeah. um, it's an error to a line of code. Sometimes when you develop a website, the code is written in like paragraphs. Then
Hmm.
in paragraphs consists of one line which is have a sentence. Like
Hmm.
in programming, that is called line of code. So for example, the bug means the
Hmm.
error located to a, for example, line 3 of the paragraph. So that would be in prompt line of code, then 3, for example. So the solution of it is to run a lot of tests so you can identify the location of the bug. So you can take precautionary measures like replace the code or sometimes delete. Then also you can fix the code if you want. Then also the compatibility of the website to the devices. For
Hmm.
example,
Yes.
there's a website that is compatible to a desktop but not in the mobile phones. The solution to that is manual coding or use a framework so that the website would be responsive. um, for example, we use Bootstrap for that's a framework. The Bootstrap we used to collide it with the our own code so that would be responsive. You can view the website from the desktop, laptop, or mobile phones. Then the
Hmm.
other solution is cascading style sheet. The keyframe, we call it keyframe, so automatically adjust to the dimension of the device. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Those are really good tips. I mean, I
Mm.
asked for challenges and he's
Yeah,
telling us the solutions to these
yeah,
challenges already, right?
mhm,
That's really awesome. I mean, I do know a little tiny bit of
yeah,
web development and web management, but the
yeah,
coding in it that really
yeah,
takes time and a person who already knows how to code. And so, yeah, those are the samples of the challenges that a
yeah,
web developer might encounter and the solutions as well.
yeah,
So if you
exactly.
haven't heard that, because
Yeah,
this is live,
mm,
um, don't worry, we are going to create shorts
mhm,
out of this or reels or TikTok out of this shorter version. So like just search for that part where I'll describe to you what the
yeah,
challenges could be and what
yeah,
solutions could be. And if ever you want to ask more, please leave them in our comment section.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, for me, for example, I did encounter
mhm,
like there was just this photo that refused to be the
mhm,
correct size,
yeah,
and like searching where to fix the
mm,
sizing, how to fix the sizing
mhm.
could really take time if you don't have any experience, if you
That
don't
would,
know
oh
what
sorry,
to do. Yeah,
that
go
would
ahead.
be in the style sheet that would be located in the style sheet. Then um it in my experience that is called grid, the sizing
Mhm.
of the image, then also the border ranges. Yeah, you can resize the photo, then also expand, then
Mhm.
um, the scalability of the photo. Yeah, you can
Okay,
resize or
there you
narrow it
go.
a bit. Yeah,
So, but there are different types of like where you're able to create your website. Like um, there's simple web development
yeah,
sites, for example, Wix, right?
yeah.
And then, of course, WordPress, which you think is easier.
I think for me the easier is WordPress. That
Hmm.
depends on the person who will handle who will develop the website and its
Hmm.
purpose. Mostly if a business site, I would go um, to Wix because
Hmm.
it's you can drag and drop. But
Hmm.
if more complex, then I would go to the other, which
WordPress.
is yeah WordPress.
I see. Yeah, if it's just simple, if you just need a simple
Yeah,
website, your business is simple, there's not a lot of complexity
yeah,
in it. As Al said, you can just try and look into Wix,
yeah,
and it's just drag and drop,
hmm,
almost like Canva.
yeah,
Right? But of course, the functions in it would it will take, it's time consuming,
yes,
because unlike Canva,
hmm,
wherein you're creating graphics and maybe some links, a website needs to be functional. Like you need to be able to click, and you
hmm,
need to be able to navigate through the different pages of your website. And if there are add-on features like chats, for example, if you
hmm,
want your clients or customers to send you messages through chats, or you just have a lot of different pages on your sites, and maybe um, you want to add videos, you want to add like promos or this or that,
hmm,
maybe WordPress
yeah,
would be better, but it needs somebody a little bit more skillful than.
yeah. Knowledge in coding also.
Yes,
Yeah,
because there's gonna be encoding
yeah,
involved. Like um, nowadays that we have AI, do you think that this is gonna help in AI would be able to help in those codes and in
hmm,
creating
yes,
websites?
yes. It will be able to help from, for example, I would design a website.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain codes that I can search using the AI,
Mm-hmm.
specific codes. If I would do
Mm-hmm.
that manually, that would take a lot of time
Mm-hmm.
with my own idea. But if I would search it, the idea is already there and also the code. So you just have to know where to put that code in a certain source code of your website that you develop.
Ah,
Yeah,
I see. So you're just gonna ask the AI, "Hey,
yeah,
what's the
yeah,
code for this specific thing?" And
yeah,
they
yeah,
give you the code. You
yeah.
just have to know
Where to put, yeah, the code
where to
in
put
your
those code.
source code. Yeah,
Yeah, there
yeah,
you go. So you
mm,
still need that person
yeah, yeah,
to do that. It
yeah,
cannot just be
mm,
like place it anywhere.
yeah.
It's not drag and drop.
Yes.
Okay, so
Oh,
um,
yeah,
yes,
go
go
on.
ahead.
Um, for example, you have the code, but you don't know where to put that code, then that would be useless also. So that's why that's you need a person who knows where to put that code, and which is the web developers. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, I've done my share of web
Yeah.
management
Mhm.
when I started doing it 5 years ago. I
Yeah.
was really like I was a beginner.
Mhm.
I was really confused. I'm like, there's so many things to
Mhm.
click and
Yeah.
navigate.
Mhm.
So just remembering where to go for a specific change that needs
Mhm.
to be done. And if you're
Yeah.
not doing it every day, if you're a business owner and you're just going to be in there for maybe once a week or once a
Mhm.
month, it's going to take time to remember
Yeah.
where to go, how to navigate your way through WordPress, for
Yeah.
example. um, so in web development or web maintenance,
Mhm.
you're able to do that, right? Like
Yes.
if there are things that needs to be done on a weekly basis, monthly basis, just updating
Yeah.
different details, or even big ones like promos, or even a complete revamp.
Yeah.
uh, and also create templates. Can you tell me a little bit more about creating templates?
Usually creating templates, if you already have the source code, you just have
Mhm.
to edit the contents, the design, so that it would not look the same as your old source code that you made, that you developed. Then you can upload it or resell that. template to another site. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's it.
So you can.
Yeah.
We're giving business tips
Mhm.
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So talking about tips, what are the important tips when creating a website? Well,
Mhm.
um, right now I want to know
Mhm.
specifically for a real estate business.
Um, okay. For me, when creating a real estate website, the purpose of that website is to lure possible buyers and
Mm,
also clients. So I would say focus on the design where
okay.
the property listing is visible, also the contact number of the real estate agent, which is the owner of the website. Also the testimonials, because from the previous transactions from my client also, he put testimonials so that his integrity is genuine. Um,
Mhm.
Genuine, and also when clients want to buy a property from them, that's the first thing that they would look, the testimonials.
Yes.
Then they would go to the property listings to choose what property they want to buy. Then after
Mhm.
that also, if the possible buyer of my client already choose the property, then he will contact the client or my client. So the number should be visible on the design, also the profit listing, testimonial. Then must be easy to navigate. Yeah,
Easy to navigate.
yeah,
Sometimes the simple,
mhm,
easy to navigate
yeah,
um, interface is
yeah,
a bit more complex than
mhm,
how it looks, right?
yeah. So that's why you have to
we
highlight the most important information of the content of your website, and that is the tree for me. I think based on my experience.
So it does help if if your web developer
Mhm,
or web designer
mhm,
is also good in
yeah,
graphic design, is also
yeah,
good in design, because
yeah,
it matters what we
mhm,
see, the feeling we get when
mhm,
we go into a website.
mhm,
And I think what you mentioned about having all those reviews or testimonials from
mhm,
clients, I agree. It's
yeah,
extremely important because
mhm,
it gives validity to who you are as a
yeah,
business or as a real estate agent or
mhm,
group. If you know,
mhm,
we all want a hassle-free
yeah,
experience,
yeah,
and to see that these people, you were able to help and transactions went
mhm,
smoothly, that will be really good for you. So that
mhm,
should be highlighted really
yes,
on
mhm,
your website, and of course
mhm,
the listings.
yes,
But sometimes you know not even just listings, but maybe listings around the area,
yes, yes,
maybe even if they're not just your own, because sometimes buyers just want to know the listings that are available
yeah,
around that area. So you're also providing that kind of information to
yes,
your clients.
mhm,
Okay. Well, um, with our web development and web maintenance, this is something that, I mean, OceanClick is going to celebrate its third year anniversary soon, but our web development and web maintenance service just started this year. So, but I mean, I mentioned that
yeah,
we're 3 years old because it's not like we're that old
yeah,
that we're gonna say that it just
mhm.
started this year. So,
Also,
um,
yeah,
together, to, together with the company,
mm,
we're also new, and that means that we are up to date with all the things that are new in terms of web development and maintenance. That's why we talk a little bit about AI functions
yes, yeah.
earlier.
Actually, I'm using it.
So Yes,
Yeah.
because we are using it, right?
Yeah.
Else using it. So yeah, if you want to know more or learn more about our web development service or maintenance service, just visit our website and leave us a message, and we'll get right back to you.
Hmm.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Al, for joining
Yeah.
me today and for sharing your expertise on this
Yeah.
matter.
Thank you also, Spring, for having me in this podcast.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna invite you again next time for a different topic, but most likely related to web design.
Actually, this is my
Okay.
first time. Yeah.
You did really well. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for taking
Thank you also.
time to join me this morning. And all right, thank you so much, everyone. And I hope you will join me again next week. But since it's June next week, we will have a special podcast. It will be all about pride.
Yeah.
And we here at OceanClick, we do support diversity. And so yeah, it will be about pride and how, of course, we take care of our agents and how inclusive we are. Okay. All right. So I'll see you guys once again next week. Don't forget to click, watch, and connect Ocean Click TV. Thank you so much, everyone.